Yes, well, but before we do,
Yeah.
you were a little bit dismissive about your American cousin. Was it last week?
No,
or
it
the week
wasn't
before?
dismissive.
Well, you were suggesting that perhaps it was one of these scam emails and you had to send your bank details.
Well, it's best to check, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
boys and
anyway,
girls, yeah.
Blaine P. Biederman writes back, and it's quite, well, I think it's interesting just to know the sorts of people all over the world who are listening to our programme. So he says, as a boy, my great-grandmother helped to raise me from an early age on an isolated farm in the middle of Iowa. She told me stories about how her father was born on an island that was a country all by itself. The country was called the Isle of Man. There were fairies on the island, and her father's family built ships. She told me about some of the traditions and customs that belonged to the Isle of Man. Her maiden name was Laura Leda Clark, the daughter of Joseph Henry and Jane Clark. Joseph Henry Clark was born in 1852, the youngest of 5 boys born in Derby to William and Jane Smith Clark. Joseph, his family, along with one of his brothers, emigrated to the United States in 1880, so 3 brothers were left, presumably in Derby. I heard Simon say that he finished off Derby as a boy, and that got me wondering if there could be a connection. In fact, I've become very interested in Clark family history, both before 1880 and since then. What became of the whole Clark clan in the 20th century? Is there a written history of Clarks of men? Any truth in the shipbuilding story, he asks. A few years back, I was entrusted with the Clark family Bible, which contains some of this genealogical information. I'd like to add to it before it goes on to someone else. And then he signs off. And of course, feel free to send your banking information. so quite interesting.
I do apologise, but you can't. I'm Manx and sceptical, I suppose.